90-pound Zepbound weight loss update with Zepbound 15 milligrams after a year and a half. Hi friends, I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. Super stoked to talk about my weight loss update with 5 game-changing focus for me this last month that hopefully will help you on your weight loss journey. Let's dive in. Number 1, there has not been a weight update. I have not lost more than my 90 pounds. However, I have been working out like crazy with Pilates. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But what I want to encourage you is if you are having a weight stall like I am, it seems like I'm having a weight stall, but I'm really not. I have been building a ton of muscle because I've been doing Pilates. And what I want to encourage you is I started off first with walking, then to wall Pilates. And from wall Pilates, I was like, let me just try out one of these reformer, one of those machines where you swing your legs all around at a class. And I fell in love with doing Pilates. And now so much so I'm actually doing personal training. Like I have a personal Pilates instructor for one-on-one because I'm really, really into it. I'm really loving it. And so game changer and focus for me, number 1, is falling in love with some sort of physical activity. I love swimming. However, it's not really easy for me to get to a swimming pool at times throughout the year. Whereas Pilates, it's been a little bit easier. It's still more of an effort, but it's a little bit easier. And it's one of the reasons why walking for me and that walk has been so helpful. And so what I want to encourage you, if you're just starting Zepbound or you've been on for a hot second, is finding a physical activity you love. Now, with my weight stall, which I'm not, sometimes I get upset, but I'm really not upset today. Today I'm not. I want to get a DEXA scan in my free encouragement group, which I'll link down below. All of my resources will be linked down below. If you don't know how to get to the description, just click the more button twice, and that will lead you to all of the links I'm talking about. But in my free encouragement group, many folks have been like, get a DEXA scan. And I'm like, why haven't I had a body composition analysis done, like an official one? So I'm actively looking to do that. I want to go through my insurance. I still haven't done my mammogram yet. I know, keep reminding me, you guys are the reason why I've been, because I need to go to my gyno to make the mammogram appointment. But from there, also, I'm finding out with my insurance about this DEXA scan. You can pay out of pocket. I think it's in my area, it's around $200. In that DEXA scan, though, it tells you specifically about muscle mass loss. And I would like to have more of an official reading with that, which is why I want to go the DEXA scan route, which is why I don't think I'm in a weight loss. I think I'm actually gaining muscle, and the muscle weighs more than fat. So therefore, it seems like I'm not losing weight, but y'all, my muscle is, I'm getting way more muscles. I'm so sore today, and I continue to be sore from doing Pilates. It is an awesome muscle building activity that I really enjoy. So that's game changing focus for me. Number 1 is it's not that I'm not losing weight, because I am, because I'm gaining muscle is what's happening here. So that's number 1. Number 2, falling in love with protein and finding things that you absolutely love for protein is my big encouragement for you. And that's what I really have been practicing, what I preach with protein, of finding things that make my heart go pitter patter for. For example, this 25-gram protein waffle. It's peach compote. I put the whole recipe in my free encouragement group. It is so easy to do. I think I'm going to make a blog post on countessofshopping.com, your one-stop shop for all blogs, articles, resources for GLP-1 weight loss. But very simple to make. It's a protein waffle, Greek yogurt, chia seeds, and then a peach compote on there. I use like a fourth of a teaspoon or tablespoon of honey in there, but it's peaches and lime juice, like freshly squeezed lime juice. So filling, so good. This could be a protein dessert. It could be a protein breakfast. Finding things you love that make you super happy. For me, here's Mr. Freddie. I know you guys are like, we need a Mr. Freddie update. He's doing great. He's getting a ton of walks and he's a happy clam. Mr. Freddie's in the background while I made chicken sausage. These were the chicken sausage in the freezer section at Costco. 3 of the chicken sausage links. Guess how many calories they were? And they're big suckers too. Only 90 calories for 3 links, and it was like 10 or 12 grams of protein. So guess what? I had 6 links for 180 calories, and what was that? 24 grams of protein. It's amazing, and that was a cheap meal. I ended up having that meal with eggs. I had a fried egg and then tomato with it, like garden tomatoes. It was so good, so good. Again, falling in love with protein that you really, really love. My little boy and I made popsicle protein. They're popsicle protein. I used my Bioptimizer's protein. It's the breakthrough, the protein breakthrough. I have got a discount code for Queen. Use the discount code Queen if you want to get some. It's 10%, 10 or 15% off. I forget what that code. There's a discount with it. Anyways, we mixed that protein powder with the Greek yogurt, and I bought some food. They're popsicle sticks that are food grade, so you're not poisoning yourself. I was worried I was going to like poison us with like rancid popsicle sticks that are not meant for food. So these, I put it down on parchment paper, froze it. It was really good, and then we chopped up some pecans to put on top, like a little coating. It was delicious. It was delicious, delicious, delicious. So highly recommend. Again, falling in love with protein stuff you like. Those are some of the many examples for me of proteins I have been testing and having and looking forward to, and really falling in love with the food as I go through. Because I am, and if you're Zepbound 15 milligrams, there is nowhere else for me to go. Until retatrutide comes out, I am here. I would love to titrate up. If there's a Zepbound 17.5 milligrams, I will be first in line for that next higher dose to titrate up to. And so this has been really helpful for me to have the protein to stay fuller longer and to help counterbalance that muscle mass loss. Super, super game changer. Game changer number 2. Number 3 is not only falling in love with protein, but falling in love with this process. And before, for chronic obesity management, weight loss has been drudgery for me. In fact, it's been a hell. It's been not something I would wish on my worst enemy. And this really and truly falling in love with the process of changing who I am physically, but the physical results are also changing me mentally, spiritually, financially, emotionally. All of those different things are changing too, not just the physical. And so I want to encourage you, if you're having challenges on this process, which I know many people do with side effects. I mean, if you have diarrhea or constipation or nausea or some of the gastrointestinal ones, obviously getting those to a point where they're stable, Mabel. Because how can you fall in love with the process if you're blowing and having blowout diarrhea? Like, let's just keep it real. Let's keep it 100 here. But my encouragement to you is, how can you fall in love with this process? Because if it's drudgery, you're going to be less likely to do it. If it's something you love and something you enjoy, or like, for example, people who you love and enjoy being around, you want to be around and enjoy them more. Same thing with this. If you are loving and enjoying it, you're going to do more of it. So how can you reflect on your process? Because this is what I've been asking myself, and I'll use my I statements. How can I reflect on this process to make it better so I can continue to do it and continue to do more of it to continue to change my lifestyle? For me, this Pilates thing, it was because one of my fabulous group members had said, hey, here's this wall Pilates thing. I'm really loving it. And I tried it and I was like, oh my gosh, I really love Pilates with the wall Pilates. I would really love to do one of those Pilates reformers. Is there a class near me? And falling in love with that process, and now being like, oh my gosh, I'm a Pilates chick. Like, who is like morbidly obese? I go back to my picture of like morbidly obese to now wearing like spandex to go to Pilates clothes today. Like, who is this person? It's amazing. It's like the most amazing, freeing, fabulous experience as a result of having GLP-1 medication has rippled the last year and a half to make these changes for me. So how can you also fall in love with the process for food, for physical activity, and if emotional changes need to be managed? For me, there has been a lot of shedding of emotional stuff with this, and really recognizing and truly honing in on healing some unhealthy belief systems, and also recognizing some things in myself I want to change. I have recognized, because I don't necessarily have, and I haven't had food as a crutch, that sometimes my temper, for me, like really working on that. Of sometimes I have been in the past very short-tempered, and I'm really trying to work on that through really trying to work on that, to not have a shortened temper. And part of that's part of my spicy meatball sauce of I am a passionate person in general, but honing that in to be into where I want to take the rest of my life with emotional management with that. And I'm using that as an example, and that may be too woo-woo for some people, but for me, that's really has been part of this too, of looking at all facets of my life of like, I don't like this particular part of myself. Why am I losing my temper so quickly? Let me really work on that. And so doing a deep dive with that and falling in love with the process of, I'm a human, I'm gonna make mistakes, I'm gonna be flawed, but how can I really work to fix this? Number 4 of game-changing things that have happened with my Zepbound weight loss. Clothes. Like this shirt, for example, I bought it on Prime Day. I still can't decide if I like it or not. It's got, I meant to put a picture up on here and I totally forgot. So I'll just show you one on my phone of my full, because some people are like, let me see your full body, which sometimes I find creepy. But I don't mind that question right now because I want to show you guys of what it looks like full body. Oh, hopefully, oh, can you guys not see that? Dang it, you guys, I don't think can see that. Hopefully it'll be on the thumbnail of this video. It will be this picture of me, like wearing that. Buying things on Prime Day that are clothes that are not, it's crazy, crazy, crazy. Like that's just crazy to me. The shirt, for example, I wore shorts. I've been wearing skirts, like skirts with shorts underneath. Who is this person? My chair's creaking. I'm not tooting. It's my chair. So many people keep commenting I'm tooting. I'm like, I swear to God, I'm not tooting. It's my chair is like creaky, creaky. Wearing spandex, like leggings. I was not on, like people talk about the LuLaRoe train. I was never on that because I never wore, like I never have been on that train. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, I can wear like wearing the Pilates, like spandex. I was walking around and I walked by my hot husband, the count. I was like, woo. And I was like, no, because my legs look different. My legs look different because of Pilates, honestly, has been part of the weight training process. I have been walking and moving more and things like that, but that has been so exciting to wear feminine, beautiful dresses and clothes, and it's been really, really cool, really, really cool. And so that's one thing I want to encourage you too, of like, I am, for me, I'm super, super frilly. I'm super, super girly. I love girly stuff. I love pink. I love all those things. And so really tapping into that and giving myself permission to, why am I not wearing more dresses if I like to wear that? Like, what's the holdup on this? And so I want to encourage you of, what do you really love? Have there been things as you're walking this GLP-1 walk, if you're on Zepbound 2.5 milligrams or Mounjaro or Wegovy or wherever, or semaglutide, tirzepatide compounds, wherever you are in your walk with GLP-1, looking at it and be like, is there something I really want to change? And working on that. Like, what's my goal focus this month? And for me, that has been truly like, okay, what is my goal focus this month? The other thing with Pilates that's been interesting that I want to encourage you of, what do I want to change this month, is for Pilates, these classes sell out. They've become I live in rural Virginia, and they have been, it's a new, it's called Club Pilates. I'm not sponsored by them. I wish it was. But so check in your area if you're interested in reformer Pilates. But they have wait lists. I'm like, I'm in rural Virginia. There's wait lists. So if you don't get on the classes, there's a wait list. So like for some of these times I can't do, because there's a wait list. Like there's just too many. So I got to be on the ball. And this is the other thing that happened to me 2 days ago. The night before I booked it, I got in. It was like the last spot before people. Then there was a wait list for the class. And then the next morning, it was in the morning, and I was like, I don't really want to go. I'm tired. And then I was like, I'm not going to be able to go for a couple of days. If I don't go now, I'm not going. And so that kind of pressure sometimes is bad for me. But in this instance, it was good. It made me go. I was like, well, I'm not missing this. Like, I'm tired, but also this is the only opportunity I have. And then with the classing schedule right now, because it's been so busy, Club Pilates, I think Club Pilates might be bought by Orange Theory, if you have an Orange Theory in your neck of the woods. I was cyber stalking, and it sounds like they may be owned by the same people, or they're near each other frequently when they're put in. So if you go to Club Pilates, tell me down below, is it near Orange Theory? Is Orange Theory near Club Pilates in your neck of the woods? But anyways, we do. But finding something that really brings you joy, I think, physically and food-wise. Because it's not about calories in, calories out, but it is about making these permanent lifestyle changes as we walk through. And now that I've gotten past side effects, do I have diarrhea sometimes? Yeah. From GLP-1 medication? Yeah. But I know how to navigate that. And sometimes that can also be food triggered too. So something to think about if you're continuously getting diarrhea or constipation. A dear friend of mine just started her semaglutide weight loss journey. She's like, I'm horribly constipated. I'm like, well, let's walk through what you're eating. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a healthcare or anything. I'm never medical advice. But let me hear, just as from a friend talking to a friend. And it was all protein. I'm like, well, where's your fiber? Where's your fruits and vegetables? And she's like, I don't really eat those. And I'm like, no wonder your pipes are clogged. If you haven't pooped in 2 or 3 days, have you had, I was like, when did you have your 2 cups of leafy green vegetables? For me, that's the first thing I look at when I'm constipated. Well, usually my fruit and vegetable intake is down. So if you're not having fruits and vegetables, my question to you would be maybe, well, why have you found things you love? For me, that's the other big thing. We are in peak produce season here in rural Virginia with our local farms. Going to get fresh weekly produce is like getting a designer bag for me. There is such a high in it. I'm like, okay, this week there's peaches, and we had sugar plums, and before that we had yellow plums, and then before that we had like going back watermelon, and like all of these fruits. Soon we're coming into Honeycrisp apple season here in rural Virginia in the next 3 or 4 weeks. We're so excited, like I cannot wait. So blueberry season, raspberry season, strawberries, like finding like it gets me so jazzed to go get fresh produce. So that would be my question for you if you're having constipation. Of course, too, by the way, Bioptimizers, the magnesium breakthrough, as always, use the discount code QUEEN. That is very helpful. So many people have told me how they had constipation and they switched to that and they're like, I'm not constipated anymore. I'm like, I know. Not only does it help with muscle recovery and sleep, but also constipation. It's magnesium. 70% of people are in deficit, magnesium deficit. It makes a big difference. And that has 7 types in it, not just one. I used to recommend the just one kind until I switched. So for me, the bottom line and the nuts and bolts in this is I am still losing weight. It's just not showing up on the scale because I am wearing these clothes with like spandex and leggings and stuff like that. The whole reason why I told that story was I'm fitting into them. And this is what happened to me last time when I went from 85 pounds down to 90 pounds down, is the clothes started to fit better before the scale dropped. And so if you're in this like in the door thing of where you know you're eating super clean, you know you're doing the best you possibly can, that it's going to calm. It's just taking a hot second and being patient with it. And I think that's one of the biggest things is me being patient with this process of, yes, I want to change my life. And yes, I want to make all of these major lifestyle changes, but I also have to be patient with the process. Is still a process, right? And I'm not going to go to these unhealthy lengths of doing certain things to get the weight off. Do I have loose skin? Heck yeah, I do. Yes, I do. I really am noticing that in Pilates now as my legs are swinging over my head. I'm like, wow, I really do have loose skin. I did talk previously about the exfoliator that I'm obsessed with. I was testing a different one. It was Sugar Scrub, and it literally made ants. Not this one. It's never had, but it made ants in my shower. So be mindful if you're using Sugar Scrubs as your exfoliant. For me, it brought all of these. It was like an ant. It was so gross in my shower. I was like, anyways, I digress. That's not part of today's weight loss update journey, but those are the biggest things that I wanted to share of what I've learned for my game changers for this past month. I think it's important to pause, reflect, see where we've gone, embrace that, have gratitude in that, pause in this moment, and then also see where I'm going and where I want to take this. So for my future goals, where I want to take this, I'm going to be traveling quite a bit upcoming for family, for like personal travel, and then work travel. And so that whacks out my schedule, that whacks out my food, and giving grace for myself. But I am really going to try to get my physical activity in walking while I'm out of town. Obviously, I'm not able to bring a Pilates reformer with me. I'm sorry, I'm not going to Boutro on an airplane, but I am going to make sure I get my steps in with my Oura Ring. So I'm pumped to track that. So I'll report back to you guys as my accountability. I always ask you guys to be accountable. So for my accountability, walking, and I will make sure I'm inspecting what I expect with my Oura Ring too. So I'll report back on how that goes over the next couple of weeks. But this month's weight loss update is, there's not an update. However, I know I'm gaining muscle. And with that DEXA scan, I'll be able to prove it. Now, I don't have, this is the other thing with the DEXA scan, I don't have a baseline because I never had a body composition or DEXA scan with a professional machine. And so I want to have that. A group member was saying in the free encouragement group how she had one 2 years ago. And I'm like, dang, I wish I had had that point of reference that she has, which is why I'm also doing this too. And if worse comes to worse, my insurance doesn't pay for it, I'll pay for it $200 out of pocket because I really, really, really want that data. I'm a data nerd. So by the way, all of our UK friends, we have had a wave of new UK friends and Aussie friends. Welcome. I am so glad you're here. So glad you're here. It's been really cool hearing internationally about Mounjaro and Zepbound. And so thank you for being part of the Countess of Shopping community. I appreciate you and I value you. Your accountability question, as always, every day, what are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? I want to know. 2, your emoji for today is going to be a bullseye. like a bow, like, because we're doing game changers. So like hit that target, hit those goals. So a bullseye, that is going to be our emoji of the day. That will help me to get to know you better. If you've made it this far in the video, I truly do care about you. And turtles win. If you're going slowly like I am, it is okay. Embracing and falling in love with this process is the biggest lesson I've learned this past month of how can I really and truly fall in love with it. Fall in love with the process. Sweet friends, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. I look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow. Let's make it a powerful day. Bye, friends.